Chaz, we're back for Barrel or Not.
Great. Who is Barrel or Not brought to us by these days?
The one and only Buell Surf, buellsurf.com. Buell Grit 25 is the promo code to save you 25% off.
Which, and I gotta say, get your dad or uncle or whatever, if you have a father in your life, a Veyor, then go get yourself and or everyone on your block a Buell because they're going to figure out that this 25% off is too much at some point and take it down. I would act fast on this one. 25% unheard of. 10%
Totally.
normal, 15% good, 25 just doesn't happen.
Totally. And of course, when we think wetsuits, we think, oh, cold water. No, you can also wear them. I mean, in Southern California, rarely can you simply trunk it. There's 3 weeks out of the year maybe where you could trunk it in the middle of the day. Otherwise, thin wetsuits. And so Buell has 2 millimeter wetsuits. They have tops, they have short sleeve, long leg, 2 mil suits. They have everything for every exact water temperature that you need. So
Where do they go?
Buell Surf,
Buell.com,
Buell Surf.
BuellSurf.com.
Promo
Put in the
code
promo code.
Buell Grit 25, the number 25. So Barrel or Nah, Chaz Smith, pricing things to end in 0.99.
Oof. It's become so ubiquitous in all our lives. Was it the gasoline industry that started this? Is
I
that
don't
where
know. I
this
mean,
all
they
started? Is
they go one
gas?
step further and put it at 9/10 of a penny after the
Yeah,
99.
yeah, 0.999 tenths, which is just the fact. I suppose the other theme of this show could be stupidity. The fact that we're all so dumb and see 4.99 and 9 tenths gas and say, oh, gas is at $4. Like, that's what I say. I see the first number and I say, go, that's the number.
Right.
Uh, so I suppose as long as people are as stupid as we are, then I'm going to be a barrel on the 0.99.
You're wrong. I'm going so no barrel. Here's what I appreciate. Don't treat me like an idiot. If it's
Yeah.
24.99, price it at 25 bucks and I will come and support your store. You're also saving ink. You're probably saving some space on the sticker that thing had to get printed on times 1,000 of stickers in the store. You know what I mean? Like, just keep it, call it what it is. I'm happy for the convenience. I'm happy for the simplicity and not treating me like an idiot.
I am so dumb though that I'll feel good walking out of the store spending 24 bucks and feel bad walking out of the store spending 25, even though I just spent 25. I'm
Exactly.
dumb, dude.
All
I'm
right.
dumb.
All right. We're going
Do it.
split decision on this one.
Yep. Keep me dumb.
Okay. Um, this was already in the notes, but it relates to kind of what we were talking about earlier. Menu, asking a server for a substitution on the menu
For a man
doesn't
asking or anyone.
doesn't doesn't matter. I'm just saying it's listed as something on the menu, and you're going to ask them to omit a certain ingredient out of the dish.
I'm going to say this is fair game for our female listeners. And for, since this is Pride Month, for our men who would like to be female listeners, this is also okay for you. If you are, though, a man, you order off the menu as is. If you don't like something, you do not take it off either. You eat that thing. You are not a 4-year-old baby. You are an adult male. Order your food as it's written and eat it. If it has something, if you have a peanut allergy and the salad has peanuts, then don't order that salad. Even if you really, really want that salad, you order something you can eat and eat it.
Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly right. I was going to say allergies aside, but no, even if you have the allergies, you just order a different dish.
You cannot eat that dish then. If you have an allergy to it, the dish was not made for you. Sorry.
Exactly. Yeah, I am full anti substitutions. Whatever. And the reason why is you think you know everything about every food product on the planet and how it interplays with other food products on the planet. You don't know everything. You're now in a restaurant where somebody specifically designed something with their level of expertise, and guess
And you're
what?
saying I'm smarter than you.
No, you're not. It might be time for you to learn something new. And it is childlike to think that your palate is, knows everything. And so open yourself up to new opportunities and you might be delighted. In fact, I would
Except
argue you will be delighted.
I will say for fussy women, it's all good. This is a barrel for you. Go get barreled in the. I would like the raspberry vinaigrette, but could you swap out the walnut for a candy pecan and da, 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 da? I'm all
Screw
like,
you.
how
Screw
about it?
you.
How
No,
about it, fussy lady?
no. So my buddy, I could probably pull like 2 weeks worth of barrel or Nas out of this story from my buddy, but it was his 25th wedding anniversary this past week. And do you know Tamu Solani's restaurant in Laguna? He has like a steakhouse.
Yeah, yeah.
It's called Solani's. Um, Fancy steakhouse on PCH in Laguna, right? So they were going to go there for his 25th anniversary. Next day, I text him. I'm like, hey, how did it go? He sent me this long review, 5 paragraphs long. Woven into each paragraph was a complaint about his wife of 25 years. So it starts off with, it was a great night, but my wife wasn't ready to go when I was ready to go. So instead of leisurely taking a drive down PCH, we had to book it and rush to make our dinner reservation. Then they sat us outside on the patio, and pretty much right away, a group of motorcycles went by, revving their engines. So my wife complained and had us move our table to the inside. It just goes on and on and on. And it's like, you know what? If you've been married for 25 years, you're entitled to the complaint. I have a feeling like you annoy each other at this point, but you're all in. Like you're
Yeah,
going to complain, but you're still having a great night. It's just part
you're not
of
pulling
what
a
it
plug.
is at 25 years, right?
Ain't it weird when you read of like the celebrity who gets divorced after, like Kevin Costner, I think just got divorced at 30-ish years, I want to say, something like that, over 20.
Yeah.
Uh, if you've gone that long and there's not like a major infidelity or something, like, so what? You're annoyed with the person. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, because you've been together for 25 years. You're going to be a little more annoyed after
Yeah.
25 more, but you think swapping out now that you're done. This was your person and you're going to go like, wander around. You can go find like Al Pacino and that newer, whatever, the 29-year-old, 83 and 29 is like, I mean, there's gross and there's super gross. And then there's like,
Old man butt.
yikes. Yeah.
Old man saggy butt gross.
29 and 83. And she was with Mick Jagger at 79 when she
Oh,
was 22.
so she's got an angle she's playing.
It's hard to figure out what.
Well, the one that to finish that story, my buddy, the final paragraph was we ordered creme brulee for dessert, but of course my wife asked them to put the berries on the side because she doesn't eat fruit. And I was like, whoa, your grown ass wife, she's a
Doesn't eat
full
fruit.
adult, doesn't eat fruit. Like that is offensive to me as a human being. And it's not like she doesn't eat durian. You know what I mean? It's berries, blueberries and strawberries, the most delicious things on the planet. And she just has a full moratorium against them.
Hold on though. Here's not to take more time than we need, but I had a epiphany the other day. An epiphany. Uh, I am a massive berry buyer, right? I go every time I go to the store, I get the organic strawberries, the organic blueberries, the organic raspberries, and oftentimes the organic blackberries. I'm running like, I don't know what, a 20, $30 per grocery store run, right? On
Wow.
berries alone. Uh, Probably not that much, but somewhere, whatever.
Berries
Organic
are
berries
expensive.
ain't cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, I can't recall the last time I had one of them. I feed them to obviously daughter like mows through them like it's going out of style. I was thinking this is a good, healthy, energy, vitamins, blah, 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 blah. And then I was wondering, I thought, I haven't had one of these. They're sitting there. It's not like she's eating them all and I couldn't have some. I never once served myself up berries. Every once in a while, I'll eat a banana, an orange, every once in a while. But then I thought to myself, is fruit for children? To your friend's wife's, like, is fruit not an adult food? Is it something you grow out of? The sweetness, it's just, let's leave it for the kids. So maybe she was making the ultimate adult move by saying, I would like the creme brulee, but since I'm an adult, leave off the berries.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. But if the sweetness is what she's trying to avoid, and then she's cracking through the sugar crust of the creme brulee, then I don't think that applies here. I mean, I was literally offended. And I think he wove again that sentence in because it annoyed him too. Like he had to
Yeah.
share it with us to commiserate together, be like, how annoying is my wife? She doesn't eat fruit. But I'm like, man, of all the menu substitutions, I can understand you don't like the potent flavor of a truffle, let's say, in your
Yeah,
whatever it is. And so you ask for them to not put, but a berry is the least offensive thing, and in fact, harmonious with creme brulee. You know what I
that
mean?
is
Like
that
it
is true.
absolutely enriches the creme brulee
It
experience.
enhances. That's
Yeah,
true.
and you add a little bit of whipped cream to that mixture, and boom, it's a symphony of flavor that she has just completely denied herself of.
Off
So,
and running.
yeah. So let me just say, no menu substitutions if you want the complete symphony. Final barrel or not? I already know your answer on this one. Bringing a bottle of water everywhere you go.
So nah. So zero nah. Like the hydration freak that's going on, I get it. Drink your water. When you're home, drink a big old glass of water. Go out into the world. You're not going to thirst to death out in the world away from your water. You're the people who have their big old jugs with the markings, like you've seen the ones like the pithy ones too. Like, way to go, you're looking better.
Right.
Days half done, you should be here. Let's sprint to the, and it's like the biggest jug of water ever. Nobody needs that. That's disgusting. You are treating your body super weird. Your body doesn't need that. Like drinking normal human amount of water, 1 cup in the morning, and call it good until you get to dinner, and drink half of your glass of ice water with dinner. That's it.
Well,
That's all. That's the only amount of water people need.
so this is where we deviate. I agree with the philosophy of everything you said, but I disagree with the water intake. I think water is the ultimate healing thing in life and it's fantastic for your body. So hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. But when is my point of bringing a bottle everywhere is when is water not available to you? You're going to be walking around New York City all day today. Water is available 5 times on every block through little bodegas and Rite Aid and everywhere. Every restaurant you go into, you do not need to lug around a hydro flask with you all day long, every day for every car ride. Even if it's a 2 hour ride, even if you're going to the mountains or the desert when you're in Southern California, you can last for 2 hours until you get
Yeah,
to your
who thirsted
destination.
at
You
it?
don't even need water in the car, right?
I'm an ecologist though, so I don't want to buy my plastics. I'm saying the human body needs 1 glass of water in the morning and half a glass of restaurant ice water with dinner. That's the only water you need all day.
You are an ecologist?
Yeah,
I'm no,
I'm not going to
oh,
buy
okay.
plastic. I'm not going to buy plastic water bottles out. I'm going to save the environment while drinking the proper adult, the scientifically recommended amount of water. 1 glass in the morning, half a glass of ice water and or sparkling water with dinner in the evening. 1.5 glasses per
Which
day is what the
scientist
human.
recommended that amount? I just, when we were young, this thing did not exist, right? I
No,
mean, I
no.
never heard the word hydration for the first 15 years of my life. And purchasing disposable water bottles was a luxury that was afforded to the one
Rich
percenters
people.
up until I turned 15. Like that didn't even exist.
You
And
saw
we all
somebody drink.
survived. We all
You
survived.
saw somebody drinking a bottle of Evian, and I thought that is the richest person in the entire world, right there.
They're,
If they're
they
drinking a
must have,
bottle of Evian.
they were in the oil business. It was the
Yeah.
only way that they afforded that bottle of Avion, and now it's ubiquitous. Now water bottles are everywhere. And I'm bringing this up, talking about my friend being annoyed by his wife. I'm bringing this up because it's a constant part of our conversation. Anytime we go anywhere now is like, do you have your water? Did you get water for Austin? We'll be walking the dog midway through the walk. She wants to bust out and give the dog some water. I'm like,
Yeah. The
the
dog doesn't need
dog,
water.
the dog is honestly utilitarian. The dog can exist days without water. I won't do that to it, but it can. Like it does not need water mid walk because it's panting. That's not what the
I
panting's about.
I took my dog. I mean, dogs here in New York, but last time I flew to New York, I think I left. Something happened. Something got all messed up. So I was like, really, it was a long day. It was like up at 4:30 a.m. or something. Dog in the kennel, driving to the airport, blah, 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 taking the dog out for walks and whatever to relieve itself. But otherwise, I got here, I think it was like midnight or one or something. Uh, Dog ran in straight to the water and got a big old drink. And I realized I hadn't given the dog a drink of water all for like, it's like 18 hours or something like that. Dog's fine. Dog survived.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
worries.
Now, so you're revealing that you travel with your dog right now?
I mean, I got a Chihuahua. It's the easiest thing ever. It's easier to travel with the dog than to leave the dog at home.
Man.
It is so much easier. Dog doesn't make a peep on the plane, just sits under the seat, quietly minding its business, or gets kicked for me. Oh, I mean, that doesn't happen, but the kennel gets a light tap of the foot. Uh,
So
and yeah, and then I don't have to worry about having somebody, could you come over and feed the dog?
so I've got two lines of thought before we close out. One is following a barrel or not from previous, maybe last year, talking about what do you do with the armrest on the plane? And you're like, hey, if you're in the middle of the seat, that's your privilege, right? The
It
fact that
is,
you
it
don't get
is.
the aisle, the fact that you don't get the window to lean your head against, the privilege for the middle seat is you get both armrests. So I was on the aisle seat on my last flight last week, and the guy in the middle seat took the armrest with a real aggressive certainty.
Yeah,
And I
it's
thought
mine.
back to Bear. I was offended by his assumption that it was his, right? But maybe he's a listener. Maybe he heard Barrel or not. So he took it. And I go, okay, I'm going to let this one go. I'm not going to try to vie for power here. It is what it is. But his elbow was encroaching on my seat. He took so much armrest that his elbow is spilling over into my seat. So much so that I can't now put my right arm back into my position in my seat without touching arms with him, essentially.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, what do I do here? How do I handle this? So I just like floated my arm forward for an hour. And then I was like, it's not comfortable anymore. I need to put my elbow back. So I wedge it back against my body and against his elbow. He thought I was showing an act of aggression and trying to angle for the armrest and like push his arm off the armrest. So he like buckles down, like pushes his like firm elbow down into the armrest. And I'm thinking to myself, well, isn't this a little tussle we've got going on with two silent grown males fighting elbows, right? He had a blanket pulled over his head. I think he was wasted or hungover from the night before. So he had a blanket pulled over his head and he was trying to sleep. He verbalized something under the blanket, like, and I just turned and looked to him, talking now to a blanketed head. And I go, hey, I'm not trying to wrestle the armrest from you. You're spilling over into my seat. I'm just, and I think I left it at that. And then he like huffed something and then like softened his elbow a little bit so that I can have my position. But I was like, this is insane. Like this interaction that is happening here would never happen anywhere else. He's got a blanketed head and I'm having like a child fight on a schoolyard with this grown male. It was bizarre.
I mean, the micro amount of microaggression that can happen on an airplane, like the little teeny turf wars are crazy. Like I will say to the like adding a layer to that middle seat gets the armrest, it's true, but it's not for that person to take, it's for the people on the edges to give, right? So this is how things work in perfect harmony. The window seat and the aisle seat gift the armrest to the middle seat. The middle seat doesn't take the armrest.
Totally. Totally. Because him taking it then put me in a different posture, put me
Because
in a
now you're
defensive
like
posture.
your manhood is being threatened.
Dude, I'll give it to you. Like I have no problem giving it to you. But the way that you went about this
Don't take
now,
it. Don't take it. Yeah.
and then the spilling over, now I have to do something about it. You know what I mean? It was insane. And it's like when you're also everything's heightened because you are traveling that day, and all the stresses that come with that. But by the time I got home and got some food in my system and a little bit of rest, I was just like, oh my God, what a bizarre
Yeah.
headspace I was in 8 hours ago when I was dealing with that.
So funny.
So yeah. But at any rate, barrel or not, bringing water bottles, we're going nah. Nobody bring water
Nah,
bottles anywhere you go. You're fine.
don't.
You will be okay. We did it for the entirety of humanity up until the last 5 years. So deal with it.
Glass and a half water. Glass and science says glass and a half of water.
Exactly. So the backup story that I had was an update on last week's feeding the cats thing.
Yeah.
Yesterday,
Yes.
Lauren. Oh no, not yet. last night or this morning, I can't remember, but Lauren literally in bed's like, man, it was this morning. She got up, came back to bed at 6 a.m. and she's like, man, my life is so much easier now. I got an automatic water tower for the cats out front that I just fill up once a week or whatever it is. And it just kind of distributes water for them. So much easier than when I had to bring those 2 bowls in and wash them every morning and then put new water in them.
Kingdom is growing.
And there's kittens, by the way.
The
Update from
kittens,
last week. There's 2 kittens now.
are they cute?
Super cute, but again, it's like she goes and she's like, I don't know, she had some positive spin on it. And I go, yeah, but those kittens wouldn't even be here if you weren't feeding the other ones in the first place. Like that's a result of, I think she was saying she's going to trap the kittens and take them to the shelter, like to do good. And I go, yeah, but you wouldn't have to do that if you didn't feed the cats in the first place and they made babies,
I mean, those kittens are getting straight up, like getting the air sucked out of them and sent for dissection kits around the, like those feral cats are not going to find a home, except here's what you should do. You ready? I feel you've reached critical mass here where you should say, hey, you get one of those kittens and keep it, but no more feeding the rest of them. Like you got to shoo the rest of them away because our little feral's going to get like chewed up by these ones.
There's no chance I'm winning that debate at this point. I'm not even engaging in the debate. I'm just I'm using it all as entertainment for the podcast now. The fact that there's a water tower out there that I'm sure it cost whatever $30. The fact that she was even washing cat dishes previously blew my mind too. I'm like, as if we don't have enough dishes to wash already. I'm glad you found a solution, but
what if you faked that Austin had cat scratch fever? What if you came in and said like you like researched, because cat scratch fever is like real serious.
Yeah,
it's like a bad thing that happens, I think, quite often. And so if you research it good enough where you can fake it good enough, you can do a whole fake, emergency room run where you got the ice cream at the end, surprise. But maybe that will teach you a lesson. Maybe that'll be like a little tough love, like scared straight.
I'll work on it. I'll get an airbrush and work on my airbrushing a rash onto his skin.
Exactly. Scared straight. I think Operation Scared Straight is what you need.
I'm going to teach him how to fake cry and act annoyed okay. I like it. I'll go that direction.
Sensitive to light, like hold a flashlight above his eyes and have him just like, it hurts.
There'll be a little father-son bonding opportunity here too.
Father's Day project.
I like it. Update for listeners. Griffin Colapinto beat Liam O'Brien in the semifinals. So it'll be a Griffin Colapinto, Felipe Toledo redo of last year at the finals.
And when are they hitting the water?
In the next 20 minutes. Yeah. Caroline Marks is in the water right now against Tyler Wright for the final.
Beautiful.
Chaz, have a blast in New York.
Thanks. I'll be here next week too. So we'll chat then. Also.
Man, how long is your trip?
It's like 11-ish days. Yeah, the School of American Ballet starts on Tuesday. So I'm acclimating a little bit and then should be right into it.
Have a blast, man. Dine well.
Thank you. Will do.